Philippine Airlines hit rock bottom in 2021 as they were on the brink of collapse. But did they really bounce back? Today, we're diving straight into the reality of the Filipinos' pride in the skies. How much of that struggle is still visible to you, the passenger? We'll be finding out as we are flying on a 12-year-old A320 from the bustling capital of Manila to the postcard-perfect island of Boracay. No filters, no sugarcoating, just the raw truth. So let's head to the airport and see if Philippine Airlines is still flying high. Our journey begins at the Kingsford Hotel, Manila. It's only about 3.5 kilometers from the airport, which will take you 1 hour and 9 minutes by public transport. Uncle Sam would be very proud of you, Manila. Well, despite the idea of building a rail link to the airport is almost half a century old, not so much is happening at the moment, with the earliest possible train connecting the airport to the rest of the city now scheduled for 2029, with full operations starting in 2031. So, with more than enough time on our backs, we decide for a cab. It costs us 210 pesos, which is less than 4 USD. And yes, I'm always converting the prices in my video to USD, but maybe in 20 years it will be the Chinese yuan. Who knows? For some reason, those cute tricycles they have all over Manila are not allowed in this part of the city, and we made the experience that it can get quite difficult to get a normal taxi even with all the ride-hailing apps installed. But aside from that, I'm having a blast in the Philippines. It's my first time here and it oddly feels like South America. But I guess 300 years of Spanish rule will do that to a place. The vibe? Pure joy. Everyone's super lively, funny and just radiates good energy. Oh, and the food is absolute fire. In a literal sense, I can't feel my tongue. With today's destination being Boracay, basically a postcard brought to life, the best part of the trip is still ahead. The airline though, well, that's a different story. Last time I flew Philippine Airlines, it was from Bangkok to Tokyo with a quick layover in Cebu. Not too bad at all, to be fair, but word on the street is that they've gone downhill since then. And I'm here to see if those rumors hold water or crash and burn. Obviously one flight isn't enough to call the whole airline out, but at least right? Let's see if I can give you an honest, unsponsored POV. So buckle up, it's going to be a ride. We're taking off from the domestic terminal of Ninoy Aquino International Airport, a chaotic beehive that's home to Philippine Airlines, Philippine AirAsia and Cebu Pacific. With around 45 million passengers annually, this place easily cracks the top 50 busiest airports in the world.
Gate number 10, boarding time is 12. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Trust me, it feels like half of Manila decided to show up with their entire extended families today. But credit where credit is due, the ground staff worked through the chaos like seasoned pros. Check-in was smooth, friendly and quick, no fuss, no drama, just how it should be. Unfortunately, today I don't have a lounge review for you because we're flying economy class and there is no priority pass lounge in the domestic terminal. But if you're interested in seeing random airports and airlines around the globe, feel free to check out my other videos. Boarding for our flight to Boracay Caticlan Airport opens on time. And so far, I'm impressed with how professional and customer-friendly everything is handled. I've heard a lot of stories, many of them from Filipinos themselves, on how badly ground operations are run at the airports across the country. But so far, I can't really confirm that. What I can confirm though is that I only paid 30 USD per person to fly with a full-service carrier, which is absolutely pet malu, as the cool kids of Manila would say. Like on my last flight with Philippine Airlines, the crew strikes me as professional and dedicated. Like basically everyone in the Philippines, they speak English better than me and even handle cheap backpackers like me with respect. When it comes to the plane itself, well, it's definitely not a brand new Cessna Citation, but to be fair, considering the age of more than 12 years, the cabin looks decent to me. But let's quit the talking and see what the flight has to offer. Even the AC is super excited.
Checks from your body. Slip vest over your head. Take tape around your waist. Push pin inward to release air. Do not inflate your life vest inside the aircraft.
Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff.
With a legroom of only 71 centimeters, the legroom is extremely tight. However, if you travel to Asia, chances are you like it tight. No. That's not an appropriate thing to say and not what this channel stands for. But yes, the seats seem to be designed for Smurfs indeed, and if you are an average size guy, you won't have much space. On a 1-hour flight over to Boracay, that might be fine, but if it goes further than that, you should consider sitting in the front, to be honest. Another thing that is often discussed when flying with Philippine Airlines is safety. I did some research on the topic, and it seems like things have improved a lot in recent years despite the financial hiccups. The ban on Philippine Airlines by the US and the EU was lifted 10 years ago, and in general, Philippine Airlines has a good safety track record and employs the best pilots in the country. Once we hit cruising altitude, the crew kicks off the catering service with a cup of water and some chips. Now, some might raise an eyebrow at the simplicity, but keep in mind the short flight time and the low fare. I mean, in a restaurant back in my home country of Switzerland, $30 barely gets you the water and the snack. Here in the Philippines, they also throw in a whole flight. So far, I can't really complain about Philippine Airlines, to be honest. Maybe you had some different experiences than me, and I'd love to hear that in the comments. However, at least on this trip, everything appears to be fine. Barely finished eating, we are already descending, and believe me, this landing was one of the most magnificent I've ever seen. Even from the sky, this corner of the world looks like a tropical paradise, and it feels like you're landing right in a commercial for Fiji water. Welcome to Boracay. We have arrived on time and are ready to head over to the airport, which is about the size of your local bus station.
On behalf of Captain Masacampo, assisted by First Officer Casas and the rest of the crew, thank you for flying Philippine Airlines.
We pull up to a remote gate, which seems to be the only kind of gate they have here, and as the doors swing open, a blast of hot humid air rushes into the cabin. This airport is one of two gateways to Boracay, the other one being Calibo International Airport, about 42 kilometers away. Technically speaking, even this airport isn't on Boracay itself, since the island is tiny, just 10 square kilometers, or less than 15% of Manila Airport's Terminal 1 floor space. Instead, Boracay Caticlan Airport is on the mainland, and from here you'll need to hop on a ferry to reach the island. But for now, we're hopping on a bus to cover a whopping 10 meters, a bit more maybe, from the plane to the terminal. Gotta love efficiency. The counter to buy the ferry ticket is the nightmare of every project manager, as you have to wait in like 4 or 5 different lines to pay different fees. It's crazy. However, when it comes to Philippine Airlines, I'm quite happy. The flight was on time, the ground crew as well as the cabin crew were very professional and friendly, and to top it off, the ticket was basically for free. So from what I experienced on this short flight, I can still recommend Philippine Airlines no matter what other reviewers may say. A codeshare partner of Philippine Airlines with mixed review is Xiamen Air. Click here to watch my rather unusual flight with them here. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week.